Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight was almost the whole day today. And anyway, I really hope you're getting out in nature and getting some fresh air. Make sure, depending on where you are, make sure you get plenty of water. And don't forget, like if you have pets and you bring them out with you, make sure you bring something or that they have a way to drink water, and wherever they drink the water is make sure that water is safe. Sorry, Starlight. It's got an itch. The reason why I say this is I was at a park last night and I saw this dog, and I mean, like, I believe he was dehydrated, and I don't know when his last time he had a drink, and it got pretty warm yesterday. So, and I just felt bad for the dog. I wanted to go over to the man, but the man was on his phone. And, the dog looked like he really could have used some water. He was going slow and he was breathing heavy, So really take good care of your pets. Make sure, especially animals that go out in nature or even the ones inside, that they get plenty of water and that the water that they're getting is good, especially the ones that go outside. And anyway, besides that is, if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome, and you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, you could give this video a thumbs up, and you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't forget, don't be afraid, don't be shy. Swing by and say hi to Starlight, and you can leave me a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. And thank you, all of you out there who leaves Starlight a message or even gives me a thumbs up. You watch my videos. Thank you for even the ones out there that watch my videos, or even you share my videos. Thank you. So Starlight really appreciates all of you out there that has love and supported Starlight. So not only you can leave me a message down below, is also you can share my videos, and you could share my videos with your family, friends. Let's see, an alien and a vampire. Why not? A vampire could get a lot of help. An alien would love to, watch Starlight's video. Believe me, they're out there. Because Starlight's, part, I got a family out there of aliens. I don't know what planet I come from. But anyway, besides that, is you could check out my playlist. And don't forget the notification bell. That way you don't miss anything. And you can also check me out on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So today, Starlight's wheels were turning. Believe me, they've been turning today. I had so many different videos, so many different topics today, and it came down to one. I'm like, as I was getting closer to the library, I just kept on all these different titles, topics, and so anyway, I am making a video tonight. Are you, yeah, you, or you, I know I shouldn't point fingers, right? But are you following the crowd? See, are you following the crowd? And most of you could be following the crowd. Some of you might say, I really don't have time for that. I don't want to follow the crowd. And that is how Starlight was really young. I was really young when I knew something was kind of off, and I felt it at a very young age, is feeling that people wanted to control me. They wanted me to conform to something that didn't resonate with me. And like, I heard an awesome video today even about chosen ones, and I was listening to the video, and I'm like, yeah, that's why I don't follow anyone, is because, if they're going that way, Starlight is definitely going that way. If they're doing that, I'm doing this, and maybe some of you have done this, like on, this happened a long time ago, and did Starlight do it? Absolutely not. I was like, why am I going to do it? You know, because everybody else is doing it. And that was the, I don't know if I'm going to get the name right, but it was the, where you had a bucket of water, the ice challenge. You know, I think that's what it was called, where, you know, it was water and, you know, ice, water, and you had to take a challenge. You know, they made you feel like you had to take the challenge to pour like a bucket of ice cold water all over your body, and to record it, and then to put it on the Facebook, or I don't even know how long TikTok has been out, you know, and put it out there, and then challenge somebody else to do that. So on Facebook, you know, I had, you know, family members that was trying to get Starlight to do it. Did start now, you know, I wouldn't mind doing one of those things where you go somewhere and like they have this thing that you go into and it's really cold water, but when you get out, you get all nice and heated up, you know. I wouldn't mind something like that. Or the opposite, where you can go and get really, Starlight can definitely handle the heat when it comes to water, getting inside of it. So, and then you would, you know, get your temperature back. So I wouldn't mind trying to do that without following everybody else. Like, you know, people saying, yeah, Starlight, you do it now. When people do that to me, it's like, no, you know, like I didn't see the, you know, like, all right, all these people were making videos and, you know, sharing those and, you know, all this stuff. And like I said, did you do that? You know, did you, you know, some of you might have not wanted to do it because you didn't want to get cold. But how about other things in life do you follow? You know, do you follow the crowd? You know, like, and this is how it starts, is like with the Hollywood stars. You know, a lot of people, you know, get programmed thinking that that is how, you know, they put those people way up here, you know, and they're not even being real with themselves, you know. There's some actors that know the truth out there, and I'm not going to mention the actor's name because I love the person. They made a great documentary out there, or, you know, or a movie or whatever. I'm just going to kind of swing back and forth with that, is they know the truth. And I actually subscribe to their TikTok videos, and then I unsubscribe because I'm thinking, why are you making videos? You know, like, because I really had a thing for this actor a long time ago, and then of course, you know, he's changed, and I don't even know who he is, but long time ago when I seen him in a documentary, it's like, wow, you know. So now I was like, the things that he's putting out on TikTok, I watched a few things and I'm like, you got to be shitting me. Just because, you know, a person is famous, you know, and, you know, he's got a TikTok channel or whatever, and here he's like doing weird stuff, and it's just nothing. It's like, you know, he might wake up and, you know, drink a cup of coffee and then look at it, you know, and that's the clip, you know. Or, you know, wake up and he's, you know, his hair is messy, and he might walk in his house where he lives and might just lay out and just stretch his legs. And, you know, that is what we're supposed to give thumbs up to. You know, I was in the beginning, and then I snapped out of it. I'm like, what am I doing? Yeah, you know, I really, man, you know, the documentary this person made knows the truth of what's going on, but I'm thinking, why are you dumbing down the people by putting nonsense like this stuff? And it's, you know, it's distracting people, you know. And there's other Hollywood stars out there that they are actually making videos to help people. Yay, you know, that's great. They're helping people. There's, you know, there's some Hollywood stars out there that might have a YouTube channel or maybe even a TikTok thing, you know, but are you following the crowd? And here's another, you know, and this all starts like, when we start off in school. And like I said, when I was very young, people were trying to control me on how to bring up my kid, my daughter, she was my firstborn, like trying to tell me like when she should take a nap and how long of a nap she should take. I didn't agree with that. I wanted my child to go to sleep at 8 o'clock. So, once my daughter was not a baby anymore, she was running around the house, I'm like, you know what, you're staying awake all day long. When it's my time, when it's my break, you're going to sleep. That's, I figured, hey, I'm going to get that little girl tired. I didn't want to give her a nap, so do I have to give my daughter, like a nap, I'm the mom, so, these days now, nobody knows really what to do with their kids because it's been going back and forth, what to do, but it's your child. You might even have family members trying to tell you what to do with your kids. You can take advice if they're giving you good advice, if that aligns with you. Like if they're trying to teach you about getting your child to eat healthier, yes, that's great. But anyway, following the crowd, a lot of people fall for this trap is even though we have these titles or labels, like somebody just, people ask me this question a lot because I have a YouTube channel, and they're like, oh, are you a Christian? And I had a lady, I'm sorry, I got hair. I had a lady just ask me the other day, she wanted me, they give food out, and, she was trying to see if I wanted to go to the church. She kind of put me on the spot, one of those types of people, like, hey, I got her, I'm going to put her on the spot, and so I was very aware of what was going on. And, don't let other people pressure you into things, you don't want to do. I am free from going to church. I don't have to go to church. So there's another group out there that are following, and not, I've been there. I watch this stuff. So I don't follow just because people go to a building that they want to call a church, even though when you're a Christian or a believer, the body of Christ is the church. The building is just a building. So by going there and you have a pastor or a preacher or a man of God or whatever name you want to call it for a man, now if everybody is going to that church, say if you're going with a group of people that are going to church and you're seeing stuff with your eyes and saying, something's not freaking lining up here, because this has happened to Starlight more than once. Are the people at the church, if you go to church, what are they, are they good at, not that anybody is going to be perfect, but are you following, following? See, that's the whole point. Starlight fell for this stuff. I was following a group of people thinking, oh, they know the way. This is where I'm supposed to go. I was trying to educate myself about Jesus and learn about the Bible, and you end up finding out stuff about your pastor and about how it takes time, and some more than others to, really see what's going on. Like, is the pastor being faithful to his wife? Where I've been in a church where the pastor, I knew he had a thing for Starlight, and I knew this, so I'm thinking, what is going on in this church? And in other churches that it was definitely a cult church, where they were beating children with rods, and it was, it's one thing to discipline your kids if you're going to use some kind of, like a rod or a stick or something like that, because it says in the Bible, but I'm not going to go there. I'm not saying whether you should or not, but really, I went to the police department and I asked questions about this stuff, and more or less the police department is like, if it's leaving marks, it's abuse. And that's exactly what was going on in this church, is that there was definitely marks. So are you just going to follow, people that are leading you the wrong way? And that is what you got to really be cautious about, is who you're following, why are you following, and do you even agree, or are you just like, hey, because this person over here, she's got a certain degree, or she has a certain job, and she's there. And, because in the Bible, it's like, you will know them by the fruit of their spirits. By their fruit is how you're going to know whether they're a Christian or not. But, a lot of people are wearing, I had to learn the hard way, a lot of people are wearing a mask everywhere. Even in the church, they're wearing a mask, and they're deceiving many, and they're putting on an act in the church, in the congregation, like a sheep, making it look like they're like a sheep, but they're a wolf underneath that mask. So, they claim to be a Christian, and they're like, yeah, okay, a Christian is supposed to act this way and act that way and act this way. And so that's exactly what they're doing. And they could really stir up a lot of problems in the church. And then how are they when they go home? They might even, have the mask on when they're out in public. And everybody, there's a lot of cases, even police departments, even police officers get fooled. They're like, there's been cases in the world, people that have been, accused of doing very wicked stuff to children. And that person, that man or a woman, had a mask on, where, the community was deceived by the person because they had a mask on. Just like Dexter, Dexter, knew how to blend in. Starlight had to blend in the other day. I was like, ooh, I got to blend in right now. But so it is important that you be mindful of who you're following, because a lot of people are wearing a mask. There, a lot of Christians that say that they're Christians or believers will act a certain way because they don't want the pastor preaching to them. They want to claim that, hey, I'm a good girl, I'm perfect, and put the fake smile on, and could even go home and talk bad about the pastor, So, who are you following? And I just made a video not too long ago about this, but it's so important. And the reason I'm making this is because today I'm getting back into jogging. I'm not going to be able to do it tomorrow because I got to go somewhere. But I decided, hey, I'm going to jog today because, like I need to take care of my legs. My legs are sexy, but I want to get them firm, and I got to get more muscle. I used to jog all the time when I was younger in New York, even before I moved out here. I used to jog in the mornings. So now I'm going to get back into that routine again. And it's funny, I go to, I looked up online to find, okay, where's there a track, where I can go. And I get some of these parks mixed up, because a lot of them start with an A because of where I am. And so I went to the park. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is the park I've been to a few times, and so I was looking around. I'm like, okay, where's the spot to jog? And so what I noticed, and I know some of you might not even like this when I say this, but what I noticed is that I'm my own person, everybody was, let's see, I was going that way. So everybody was jogging this way around, And what I noticed is that everybody was going around, it was just like a big, not a perfect shape, And I'm like, I can't do that. I can't follow everybody. And I'm not gonna, I can't do it. I'm not gonna, and that's why with COVID, what they were doing, putting the arrows on the, in the stores to have you go down an aisle and go back and go down and go back, and even in Walmart parking lots, they have arrows that you're supposed to go. We've been programmed enough. So Starlight is really avoids these kind of programs, is to, okay, everybody, I realize I don't have to go around the same way. So Starlight decided, hey, they're going this way. Starlight's gonna go on the outside of them that way. So I was the only one going the opposite direction. And the other kind of funny thing that I'm gonna finish this first, but so, and as first thing, I was full of energy this morning, and I'm like, Tigger was out, and so what I was doing is when I started, I had my bottle of water. I always have to have a bottle of water with me because I'm going to get hot and I'm going to have to take a break and then start back up again. But as people were going this way, Starlight's starting off jogging, and I was like, you keep going. And I was inspiring every person along the way, like if there's a small little group, I'm like, you got this. Keep going. You're amazing. You're beautiful. And I just kept on going around. And it was really beautiful because, everybody's like, who is this chick? Because, there was a Jehovah's Witnesses at this park and they were just standing there. But I could tell that they were seeing me go around and doing this. All these people needed this, and inspiring them to just keep going. So I want to continue to do that, but tomorrow I'm going to be, by the time I get done with what I have going on, it's going to be too warm. It's going to be like in the afternoon time by the time I get there, and Starlight's not, I have to get there in the morning like most people do. So I'm going against, and just like going against the grain of wood. Wow, instead of going the smooth, where it's feeling smooth, Starlight is the one that's got to go the rough, I got to go that way. Of course, like cats, I'm not going to pet cats, and dogs are funny, especially cats are funny. Have you ever pet a cat backwards? Say, pet a cat backwards? Yeah, I'm going to be the kitty cat, okay? So most people would, start up here and pet the cat that way, but it is kind of funny if you start from the tail end and, it probably is like, woo, it gives them a chill. And probably, because all the hair is going to, go the opposite direction in their skin. So it is kind of funny. I mess with animals. I play head games with them. But so you really don't want to follow, what the crowd is doing. Like, the crowd likes going to the bar scenes, hey, yeah, let's go to the bar scenes, and, you could do whatever you want, but I've grown, and I never was a bar chick. I love playing pool at a bar. I love dancing, at a place, but now I don't even go there. Other things that I think it's great when people go out and do sports. Awesome. So there's some things that are great to do, but you really don't want to follow the crowd as far as the Hollywood stars, because they're going to take you in really dark places. A lot of those Hollywood stars sold their souls. They signed contracts. They had to do some wicked, crazy stuff, and I wouldn't even doubt that some of that was, recorded, to hold and say, hey, you got to do what we tell you to do, because if you don't, we're gonna put something out there on the media, and there's a lot of people that has gone through hell being the stars that they are today. So you don't want to, follow those kind of people. My heart goes out to those people. They got deceived, by doing this stuff. And so you don't want to follow the crowd. And what is so important, you got to teach this to your children. A lot of things that I teach to you as an adult, these are things that your children really should know. Is, what, they go to school, and of course, if there's a way that you don't have to send your kids to public school, you would save them a lot of trouble later on. And I know a lot of you are saying, I can't afford it. Well, see, that's a mindset. That's a mindset. There is, God would love to see those kids get free. There's kids that are miserable. They, just like Starlight was miserable. They don't want to go, but they're forced to go in there. They, the family I've seen this, I witnessed this in my life, is where kids are crying. They don't want to go to school. and the parents don't always listen to what the kids are saying, and how bad it is and how mean the kids can be, and they're really sly and sneaky. A lot of those kids, they say stuff where they might be pretty smart, where they could say stuff, without getting caught, because, there's people out there that don't, like some teachers, if they seen that, they would make a report on that. But these kids are sneaky. Even on the bus, these kids go through a lot of crap, going on a bus just to get to school. The driver, is driving, and there's probably these days, they didn't have it when I was younger, but probably people on the bus that tries to keep an eye on all the kids. And, these days it's a lot different than when I grew up. So you really do, you want to teach your kids, but you got to be the example to your kids and say, just because all those people are going to church, I'm not going to follow them because they're following, that is not a man of God there. That man is a wolf in sheep's clothing. That man is leading the sheep astray. And so we don't have to follow along with what all these people that claim that they're Christians, so a lot of times the God that these people are worshiping in the church is not, it's an illusion of a kind of a God. It's not even the God, the creator, because, this stuff, if they're doing all this stuff in the sight of what they think is God and believe is God, and the pastor is, like where I came from, is abusing your children in the sight of God, but they claim to be God. You can have the name God, capital G-O-D, but it doesn't mean that the one that they're claiming to serve is the God, the creator. So you really got to really be careful and mindful is, are you going at a church, and how powerful is the God in there? If that God at the church is so small, and you don't even believe and trust in anything, and there's a lot of things in the church you got to really be careful. There's a lot of beautiful people out there that are believers or Christians, but you don't want to follow lost sheep that are going down the wrong way, following a man or a woman that is not of God and pulling you, and it could really mess everything up for your children, their future. And it has, I've witnessed this. All these kids, they went through hell. A lot, like 50 families or plus, that these kids were getting beaten at the church, abused. So, they went through a lot of crazy stuff, so don't follow the crowd, is you got to teach that to your children, is to show them, just because all those friends are doing this, you got to pull them away. They don't have the strength to pull away from friends that are, they think they're your friends. They think that, oh, these are my friends, Mom. But you see, those are not the kind of friends that are good for your kids. Be the parent, to say, you know what, you really, you got to speak up and communicate with your kids and teach them why those are not your friends. Get to know your kids' so-called friends. The kids, that's how they think. They got to have lots of friends. I know a lady right now, she watches my videos, and anytime I have a video about people, like getting hurt by other people and not being their friend, I know she's affected because she has a disability, and she's being programmed thinking that you got to have a lot of friends. If you don't have a lot of friends, then it's something wrong with you. And that is totally backwards. It's all wrong. So you don't have to have a lot of friends, and your kids need to learn that. Having a lot of friends, what that means? A lot of headaches and a lot of problems. So anyway, I love you so much. So don't follow the crowd, be the leader instead of the follower. And I love you so much, and you got to teach this to your kids. These are the things that you got to get them ready for and prepared for, because later on, they could end up, when they get done with high school, they might follow the wrong group, like a gang or something like that, and think, yeah, I'm following all this gang, they're teaching me all this stuff, and yeah, we gotta, they can really get pulled in easily because they're young and they don't understand really what's going on. So, but you definitely got to teach your kids, and you are the parent. You don't let your kids run the house, and that happens so many times. So be the head of the house, make sure you let your kids know, and you got to do it as early as possible. When, if you're not the head of the house and they're already teenagers, good luck. You got a handful. So anyway, I love you. This is Starlight. You can give this video a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you can leave me a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. And you can also check out my playlist. And don't forget the notification bell. Plus, you can follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight or on Facebook, and that's Kathy with a K, Ding the Starlight. I love you all. If they're doing that, if they're doing this, do that. If they're doing that, this is what I was going to say. I did this a long time. Now I'm kind of doing it again, but now it's a different thing. I'm living in my car, so I do park my car a certain way for a certain reason. If I got to microwave my food, then I always have my car where the sun can come in and hit the dashboard so I can use it as a microwave. So Starlight was so crazy about not following everybody and doing something opposite. For the longest time, I was always back in my car in every parking spot. I would get out of the store and I would look and study how many people were parking their car the same way and how many of them did what Starlight backed her car in. I'm like, I wonder if these people that backed their car in, wonder if we got something in common because we're not doing what everybody else is doing. So anyway, you can look around, in your own life and look at what everybody else is doing and say, this is weird. Everybody's doing that, but you got a few that are doing something backwards, Now, one thing I do have to say, I don't like this. It's too funny. So you don't want to get too carried away. What I've been seeing in this area, and I've seen a video on TV, is some guy came up with this. I don't know who he is, but Starlight, you're not going to see Starlight doing this. I have been seeing this, I seen this the other night, is people doing things backwards, right? Not following the crowd, doing things, going backwards instead of forward. Well, what they're doing is, I seen a man doing this, and what he's doing is he's walking backwards all around into the whole park. I'll tell you, and that was in the daytime. And then the other night, I was like, where I parked my car, and there's this lady, and I'm like, what the heck? She was walking backwards, but it's dark out. I'm like, no way. Starlight, likes to go backwards, and not follow what everybody else is doing. But, I'm going to keep walking forward. I'm not going to start walking backwards everywhere I go because I could get hurt. Like the guy, walking around in the park. There's hills, and then it goes downhill, and then there's sometimes like little rocks and little stones, shit can happen. So be safe. Don't, overdo it. Like, hey, she said to do everything backwards. So everybody's walking forward. I'm going to start walking everywhere back. Please do not walk backwards everywhere you go. Some horrible stuff could easily happen to you. Like the lady at nighttime, like, I don't know what it is. Cause it's like, hey, look at me, like I am walking backwards. I'm like, good for you, but man, if somebody hits you, you can't see them. You're not even going to see their lights. They're not even going to see you. You're wearing dark clothes. So, if you could walk backwards if you want, but please, if you're going to be at nighttime, don't be in the road, in the middle of the road, in the parking lot, with dark clothes, and if you're going to do that at a park, if you want to be up at, backwards, doing everything different than other people, do it where it's flat because you're going to get hurt. If you're going to, I just want to stress that out. Be mindful, just use your head. Don't drive backwards in your car. So I don't want you to do all those kind of crazy things. Just, you don't have to follow the crowd like the Hollywood stars. Anyway, I love you. I gotta put that out there. You never know. So I love you. This is Starlight. Namaste. This is Starlight. Love, light, and peace.